Hi, it's Anne from The Useless Crafter. Thank you for joining me today. I am going to show you how to make these notebooks. Well, it's really iron-on, so heat transfer, vinyl, HTV, and I did this on a notebook. So I did, as you can see, the font we're using is Hello September from Creative Fabrica. But I made Hello 5th grade, so Hello 1st grade, whatever grade you want to do. I also did one with Charlotte's name in it. And it's her softball team with her name cut out at the bottom, which I think can be so many different things. So anyway, let's get started. I have lots of ideas for this. I'm going to show you how to do the whole thing in Design Space, how to download and upload the font and all that good stuff. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do. And if you like everything here today, especially the fonts from Creative Fabrica, please use my link that's in the video. Okay, let's get started. So Creative Fabrica. There are a few subscriptions that I have. Design Space is one of them for Cricut because I feel like it's just so useful to have that. And Creative Fabrica because there are so many font images. Their projects are ready to go. I absolutely love it and it's really cheap. So it's totally worth it in my eyes. All right, so I found this cute font called Hello September, and it's just perfect. It's both the hello part, like that script, the font, and then the September with the little swirls and everything. If you just remember, I did the same thing for 5th grade, but also for Charlotte's name if you want to see it again. All right. So what you want to do is when you're in Creative Fabrica, which let's just say you're here. So there's all these different things that you can go find, but the font is called Hello September. So you can just search here or just use my link to make sure that I get paid. All right, Hello September here is this one. What you want to do is you want to click download and it will go into your download folder. What you need to do is I would just close out Cricut Design Space because when you're downloading or installing the font, you need to reopen Design Space. So I would just close it out. So go to your download folder. I've already downloaded it, but here it is, Hello September. And you're going to want both the sans and the, I always do the OTF file, so the open type font. So I'm going to click on here, double click on it. And you're going to install. Just click install. I've already done it, so it'll say that I've already done it. And then you'll close it out. And then you will do this one. And you will install. And then close it out. Close out Design Space. I'm going to bring up Design Space right now, so give me just 1 second. And why isn't it going? Oh, here we go. Okay, so Design Space is opening up. The other thing is all the extra fonts, which I'm going to show you right now. These are all the extras, the alternates that you can put in here. So your uppercase letters with the little swirls. You've got your lowercase. The other thing that is also very nice is, you know, when you have a T connected to another T, like Charlotte's name, a lot of times that the little thing that goes over the 2 T's, it's like 2 T's next to each other, so it doesn't look good. But here they know like common letters that go together, they'll change it so that it looks neater. So here you have all of that. So I prefer to use main type, and let me pull it up. Just Google, this is free, Google main type, install it. All your fonts that you install on your computer will be here with all the extra things. So I'm going to show you all that. All right, so let's open up Design Space. Let's see. Okay, finally it opened up. All right, so I'm going to pull it over here. We're going to go to New Project. Ooh, this is different. Why can't it just blank canvas? I don't remember seeing that. Okay, so we're going to go to Text. And you're going to select the pick list for the font. And we're going to go to System because it's a system font. And it came over as MTF maybe? Let me go back and look at it, see what did it come up as. You have to remember what the font is called. Oh, what am I talking about? It's called Hello September. Okay, oh, here we go. So for this portion, I think the best combo is the script part needs to be long. So like for instance, we did hello, right? And then I did first grade. So it's a long text. So we're going to go to text. We're going to click on the pick list and see it came over as MTF hello. So I'm going to put MTF and see why doesn't it come up. There we go. So here's the script one. So let's select that. And we're going to do, I did 5th grade. Okay, so a couple things I want to show you. The F, the T, and the H, it doesn't all look very good, right? It looks very messy right there because that's one of the options that we have over here. So let's go into main type. And we have an F and a T that goes together. And then we also have a TH that goes together. So let's select this one. So we're going to click on this and you're going to hit Control C. We're copying that and we're going to go in here and it was the F and the T, right? So I'm going to backspace and then we're in where we want to be. Hit Control V to drop in the F and the T. Okay. And then now what we can do is, let's make this really big so we can actually see it. You're going to ungroup it, and then we're going to move everything to make it better. So the F and the I, we're going to move over to connect it to the FT. And I'm just using my arrow keys. You can move your cursor, and I'm going to move this over to see if that looks better. And sometimes like I shifted it up just a little bit to give it a little bit of space right there. So I kind of like how that looks. Now I want the swirls before the F for the F and the E, right? So we're going to go back to main type. We're going to scroll up. These are all our options for this font. And I probably should have done that first. So you scroll up and down. It's in alphabetical order. And here is our font, the MTF Hello September, right? So when I click on it, all my extra options, all my alternates are here. So I want to find the little swirl before the F, right? So I'm going to scroll down and see where that is. All right, so here we go. It's a little messy looking on this one, but so here's the F. You see how the swirl before the F, and then this is the swirl for after the F. So I want this one for 5th, right? So I'm going to click on it, Control C, go back to design space, and I'm going to click on this one because that's the one I want to replace and hit Control V. Oh, I really dropped it in. Oh. I probably should have done all of the switching before I ungrouped it, but that's okay. All right, I'm going to move it over. That looks good, right? And look how pretty that is. Okay, so now we're going to replace the E, go back to main type, and here's the E that I want with the swirl at the end. So I'm going to hit Control C, go back to design space. Click on this E and Control V. And there it is. It looks so good, right? Now, the other thing is I probably would want to make this less space right there. So I'm going to grab the whole thing and move it in. So there's my 5th grade. Obviously, it's humongous compared to my hello. Let's make the hello big. Kind of something like this, right? That looks good, right? Okay. So I'm going to make this a little bit smaller just for a second. Okay, so we're going to put the hello here. Let's grab this 5th grade and group it together, okay, so that it moves as one, okay? We're going to move this hello up here. Now, whenever you cut something out, like slice something out and you're putting words in there, you're going to want an offset so that there's a little bit of space between your word, 5th grade, and from the hello, just so that it makes it more legible, easier to read. So if you like about how much this looks like spacing wise, I think this needs to be a little bit smaller. And I think that looks really good. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an offset. And for my project, I did 0.05. And we're going to apply. It's up to you if you want that spacing to look a little bit bigger or smaller. I don't recommend going smaller than 0.05. I did 0.06, 0.07, and 0.08, and I liked 0.05 the most. So I'm just going to leave that there. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is, this is the 5th grade that we're going to use. This is the offset to slice, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of put it where we want height-wise. I want to put it down here. I want to be able to see the H and the E and know what letters this is supposed to read. I kind of like it right there. I don't want it down here where we cut out the bottom of the letters. I want to be able to see the bottom of the E, L, and the O. Okay, so this looks good to me. So now I'm going to grab this whole thing and go to Align, and we want to center it horizontally. So now that means that, this is, everything's centered with the swirls coming out. So I like the way this looks. I'm going to grab these 2 items and we're going to slice, which you can't see because my face is right there. So let me move this over. Okay. Your slice option is right here at the bottom, and we're going to slice. And we're going to remove everything. So we're going to take this out, pull this out, pull this out, and that's all that we have left, okay? And I'm going to change this to a different color just to make it easier for us to see what that would look like. So this is going to go in like, oh, I can't get this to work. Like that. So you see there's a little space. What I also prefer, I think, is to get rid of the middle part of, oops, sorry, let me move this. To get rid of these, like this little piece right here. So the way to do that is you're going to go to contour, and we're just going to click on everything. So I don't want these 2 little guys, that little thing. I think that's going to be more annoying and harder to read everything. And if you can't click on here, what you can do is you can scroll down over here and you have the option to select these smaller items. Okay. I'm undecided on this piece. I'm going to click on it just to get rid of it so that we can see what it looks like now. Okay. So it's so hard to bear. So it's going to say, hello, 5th grade. I think that makes it so pretty and so easy to read. Let's get rid of all of this. Okay, you don't need that. All right. I like the way this looks. And you would do the same thing for any other project. Some other options, I think, is like first name and middle name, first name, last name. You can do, I did the softball team and then Charlotte's name. So I think that the best thing is like when you're thinking of ideas, like I said, the script needs to be long. So like I did Glory and Charlotte. I did Mommy and Charlotte. So you do, mom with their kids' names in there and stuff like that. I think that's super cute. All right, so now let's go and like just make sure that we have everything done. This we want to weld. So we want to go to combine. We want to weld it so that the script, when you cut it out, it's all nice and flowy in one piece. The hello, if you want to do it in different colors, the way you would do that is, well, first, hold on. We're going to separate this. So let me show you what I'm going to do. Let's just make a copy of this. Okay. Oops. Okay, let's go back. It's been a while. I know, I'm like so excited to do this. Okay, let's move this down to there. I think that is exactly how it's supposed to look. Okay, let's size this. So you want to size them together so that the whole project is resized. You know, this was a notebook, this one. So you can size it accordingly if you're doing a t-shirt, whatever you want to put this on. So I'm just going to size it now, randomly sizing it, okay? If you like this size, what I would do is make a copy of it because we are going to mess around with a few things. Okay. So if we want to do it exactly the way I did it, 5th grade was in white HTV, and then each of the letters was a different color, okay? So this is moving as one whole piece. So the only way to separate this and make it a different color is to do this. We're going to slice out each letter and change it into a different color. So let's grab your shape, and I'm just going to do a humongous rectangle, okay? I'm going to cover just the O so I can slice out the O by itself, okay? So we're going to grab all of this and we're going to slice. When you're slicing, you can only slice 2 items at a time. If you click on more than 2 items or less than 2 items, this will be grayed out and you won't be able to slice it, okay? So I'm going to move this over, delete that, and now my O is separated from the rest of this. So I can make this O light blue, okay? I'm going to move this for a second and I bring this over. I'm going to make this small right now just so that we can slice everything easily. Okay, well that's too small. Now you can't even see anything. Okay, now I'm going to slice the H. So I'm going to make sure that only the H is in my little rectangle. I'm going to grab now that's what's left is held, and this big block slice. Okay, so now I can delete that extra. This I can put over here. The H is in orange. Okay, now I'm going to do the E. So I'm going to bring this down. Just make sure that only the E is in here. And do this. And slice. Delete and just move up my E. My E is purple. And then I have my 2 L's left. I'm going to bring it over here so it's a clean space. And just 1 L is over here. I'm going to grab the 2 L's and the block and slice. So now I'm going to delete it. I've got my 2 L's. I'm going to move it up. Okay, it's like that. So my first L is yellow. And my second yellow is like a turquoise, but I'll just put it green so that you can see the different colors. So it's going to look like this with the word 5th grade in the middle, right? Okay, so we're going to delete this. We don't need that anymore. And I'm going to bring this back over here. The reason why we made a copy is I didn't do registration marks. It will be very difficult to line this up to make sure that the word 5th grade fits in here exactly where it's supposed to. So what I did instead was I made a rectangle of my actual size of the notebook. Okay, so my notebook is 5.5 inches. So in this case, I'm going to unlock it because I'm changing into a rectangle. My width is 5.5 inches and my height is 3.75. And in this case, it might not work. Yeah, because I made this kind of big. I'm just going to still keep the shape of the notebook, okay? And I'm going to move this to the back. Arrange, send to the back so I can kind of see everything. I'm going to change this black into maybe a light yellow just so that we can see everything. All right, what you want to do is this is basically my notebook, right? So I want to line it up. So I'm going to grab the two items and I'm going to align. This time I'm going to center it, both horizontally and vertically. And in my case, I don't know if you can see this, but my notebook has this like little rubber or elastic piece to keep the notebook closed. So I lined it up. I centered it both horizontally and vertically, but I'm going to move this up just a little bit to account for that elastic band, okay? Then I'm going to grab these two and I'm going to slice. And the reason is because I'm going to delete this hello now and I'm going to delete this. This is my little template that I'm putting on top of my notebook to insert the blue orange inside so that when I go to iron this, I have my template and I know exactly where the letters go. So you see it's going to fit in perfectly in real life. And if you need to see it in real life, my reel is on TikTok and on Instagram and Facebook. And you can see how I did it. I used heat resistant tape and made it, and it was just easy peasy. Okay, so this is going to be in cardstock. This is all going to be in HTV in the different colors. This is going to be in white vinyl, right? Or white HTV. I'm going to delete this because we don't need that. So you want to save your project. Now, I also have another trick, which I don't know if you want to do this, but let's go to the Make It page just so you can see what it looks like. Let's save it. Hello, 5th grade YouTube tutorial. Save it. You always want to save it because I know we think we're going to finish everything on one cut and there's going to be no mistakes. And then you walk away or I don't know, the power goes out. You need to save everything so that you have it. If you need to recut just one little thing, you'll have the right size. So you're going to want to do that. All right. When you go to cut this, this is going to be in HTV. You want to mirror it, right? Here are the individual colors. You also want to mirror this and cut out each one of these, right? This one we're going to cut out in cardstock. This little guy needs to be on its own because this is going to be cardstock. This is going to be HTV. And the way you would do that is you just click on the 3, move object, and I would just add a new one for that color. And it'll just be on a sheet on its own because you need to mirror this one and all that good stuff, right? Okay. Now, the other option is we know what colors we want. We're going to make this all one color. And you're going to ask me why? Why would you do that? But I'm going to show you right now, okay? So we're going to make it. And I'm going to do everything like I did, the way I did it, okay? So I'm going to mirror this. This is going to be HTV. This one's going to be cardstock. It's already ready. This one is going to be mirrored because it's HTV. And I'm just going to move everything around. So you see these are thin pieces, right? I ended up cutting like, in this case, right, I would cut 2 inches by 5 inches of each color, and I would just lay them on my mat and cut them all at one time. So this will be, you know, yellow scrap, orange scrap, blue scrap, green scrap, purple scrap. I know I don't have it in the right order, but you get what I mean, right? Also, what I want to do is, although this is HTV, I'm going to click continue. I'm going to overcut it. And what that means is instead of weeding, I'm going to cut through that transfer sheet that's connected to the HTV so that you can pick up just the O and put it into your template, okay? So normally, like this one, I would just use Everyday Iron-On. I know I'm using Polytape HTV. It's thinner than the Everyday Iron-On. It's going to cut perfectly on Everyday Iron-On. This one, I'm going to pick heavy cardstock because that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use my basil paper or whatever, and I'm going to cut that. This one, I'm going to cut on glitter cardstock, even though it's HTV, because then I'll have a single piece and I can put it onto my template. Okay, you can follow along. I've done it a billion times. That way you can lay it all out at one time. and you can iron it all. How many letters is that? 4, right? HELLO, 5. And then iron on all 5 letters at one time, okay? This way. All right. Watch my video to see how I did it in really quick speed, but you'll get the idea. And I don't know, put it in comments. Let me know if you like it. I love this trick. I am not using the registration marks because I feel like you end up wasting so much HTV to line everything up, because with the registration marks, let me go back to here. Let's go back to this page. To cut out the O, it would basically be this big old piece all in blue, all cut out, and you would just be using this little piece of O, and you would be wasting this much of HTV, and I feel like that's so wasteful, and that's why I'm using a template to line up my project. I'm also using a template because this is pretty easy to line up. I mean, if it was a more intricate piece, maybe I would probably reconsider doing the project. But if I had to do it and it was more difficult and, using a template doesn't make sense, then yes, I would be like, okay, waste that HTV. But, if you were doing multiple ones, that's like wasting a lot of HTV. So I don't know. I feel like that's very controversial. Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. And use my link. All right, bye guys.